picture, curtain lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing apart. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
Hey, we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm Goose.
I'm Logan.
This is On With The Show, and we're now going to be talking a little bit about Disney Plus because during the holiday break, I got a chance to sit back and watch some stuff off of Disney Plus. And I have to talk about what we talked about Strange World. I wasn't surprised. Actually, scratch that. I was kind of surprised that Strange World had made the leap from the theaters to Disney Plus so fast because it had only been out for a month. Yeah, a month. Which is usually the indication of the movie tanked so bad, we need to figure out a way to get our revenue back. Yeah, our money back. But I watched two particular shows, or actually three particular shows, and that were two were Christmas themed and one wasn't. Let me go with the one that wasn't Christmas themed. And it was one of the latest Marvel TV shows called She-Hulk. Have you seen She-Hulk?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched the whole series, but I've just seen all the parts. Everybody's talking about how bad it is.
It's
especially the CGI.
The CGI is absolutely atrocious. It's horrible. Let me just start off with first of all, I love Tatiana Maslany. I think she's a great actress. If you've not seen her before She-Hulk, she did a great show called Orphan Black, where she played multiple parts, multiple roles, and I mean, she was just amazing. I like her in this. The problem is the writing is so bad, and the CGI is horrible. The CGI is atrocious. When she's She-Hulk, the hair looks like a wig. It looks like a wig. It doesn't move like hair.
And this is coming from the richest company in the entire world.
Universe, yeah.
And their CGI does not, I guess, meet the standards you'd expect from a company that big.
It feels like let me go with this even further. When she's close up, she looks normal. When you pull back and you get like a full body, and she's walking downstairs or doing all that, she looks like one of those NPCs from a video game. She's so stiff, and it looks like she's a video game character with the head and the face of She-Hulk that's talking. It looks really bad. One of the interesting things though is that when she's fighting, it looks like they upgraded the CGI for when she does fight, but when she's just doing normal things, it doesn't look right. It looks like an NPC, and so it's hard to get yourself around that. When you're looking at you're watching the story and and you can't get around to her the stiff walk and the movements that just don't look right. They don't look right. And the hair again looks like a wig. It doesn't flow right. It doesn't go right. It looks like it almost looks like they tried to find someone right out of college to put the CGI together. And I'm trying to be nice with this because I don't know how much they spent on it. The whole series is just her struggling with I'm a lawyer. I know you're a Hulk too, but I don't want to be a Hulk. Well, you can't. It doesn't matter. You're a Hulk. You have to. And then she has to. And then when she gets a job in a law firm, and she has to be She-Hulk the whole time she's working on. And she finds out that no one's interested in her for her. They're all interested in her as She-Hulk, and she's a celebrity as She-Hulk, and she's real uncomfortable about it. And she's she's defending this person and defending this person, and it's like it's all about. And I get it. There aren't a whole lot of episodes where she's like fighting or anything. There are a few, and the fight scenes look pretty good. It looks like they took extra time to make sure those worked really well, which is kind of a shame because you wish that they'd taken time
They would have taken that type of care for the rest of the show. As well.
You do see, you see Mark Ruffalo, who didn't give away anything.
Surprise.
You see Benedict Wong as Wong. You see Charlie Cox who comes in and debuts as Daredevil. That's really cool. I really liked that idea, that concept. But the problem is that they brought in a villain called Hulk King.
Hulk King?
Yeah, 2 words. Hulk King.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like, he's the head of this anonymous kind of organization that wants to bring down She-Hulk, and they have this website, and it's like, okay. And they don't spend enough time developing that villain. And the biggest disappointment, of course, is the finale. The finale is bad. The finale, the series finale, or the season finale is horrible. So let me give you an idea, because I'm going to spoil this for you. If you have not seen She-Hulk, I'm going to spoil it for you. It's finally revealed who Hulk King is. And he has this group at a retreat that is run by Emil Blonsky, who is Abomination. And, Jessica Walters gets Abomination out on his, and so he goes there and he's going to give this speech to the group, and and so she ends up getting there because she's fired again and she doesn't know what to do with her life, and she shows up and all of a sudden she sees the Hulk King, and she sees Abomination, who is Abomination. He's not supposed to be Abomination. He's supposed to be Emil Blonsky, part of his parole, but he's Abomination. She's like, hey, and all of a sudden the dude who is like Hulk King has her blood, injects himself with her blood. He becomes the Hulk, a Hulk, and you're like, okay, this is going somewhere. And then all of a sudden, out of all different places, you have all the different, villains that she's faced, and the Hulk, Bruce Banner, comes back after being out in outer space, and you have, this is confusing as shit.
I was like, I'm trying to follow along, but
and she's like, wait, whoa, stop! And all of a sudden, honest to God, it goes to a Disney Plus, like the home screen. Where She-Hulk comes out and she's She-Hulk and she punches it out, and she's like, I'm gonna go and talk to the people who wrote this, and honest to God, goes into another panel and pops it open, and she's like walking along, the Disney animation studios trying to figure out this is where it's going. And she gets to the writer's room and they're like, well, this is the ending we come up with you, and Kevin wrote the ending, and Kevin, blah, 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 blah. You know who Kevin is, right?
Yeah, Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige. Only Kevin Feige isn't Kevin Feige, and this Kevin Feige is a like Tony Stark type robot that comes up with all the writing. And he's like, well, what would you want to have to, well, I would, I want a meal. I wouldn't want Bruce there, and I want a meal to pay for his friend. And I think you have the thing with the Hulk King, and everything goes back to no fight, no battle, no acceptance that she's a Hulk, nothing. It is one of the worst written finales I've ever seen.
I have a question. So, you said the ending's, I guess, meta? Like, she's watching her own show?
Right.
Did they set that up at any other point in She-Hulk?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, it just...
And matter of fact,
Come out of nowhere.
the episode before this, she sits there. She goes, "This feels like the finale. I thought this was the finale. This isn't the finale. Oh, yeah." She breaks the fourth wall constantly, which I don't mind. And it's kind of meta where she realizes, yeah, she's in a. But the finale's god awful.
And also, it just doesn't make sense. Like, so, this is She-Hulk watching a show she was in, right? And that doesn't make sense that she only sees the ending when she's watching it. And that's when she decides to have a, I'm going to see Kevin, make him rewrite this.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, and that doesn't make sense, because it's like, well, why didn't you just do it?
Not only that, they spend like the first episode or two with her and Bruce, like, and he's training her to be a Hulk and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, this, and I'm thinking to myself, when the dude injects himself with the blood and he starts to become a Hulk himself, I'm thinking, oh, this ought to be good. Mm-hmm. She's going to become a Hulk, and she's going to, like, you know, he's going to challenge her, and she's going to be like, well, I had all this training, I should be able to beat his ass without a problem, and Emil steps in his abomination and tries to take him, and all of a sudden he gets hurt. Oh, I got to take him out. Blah blah blah. That would have been great. We needed some type of battle instead of what we got. And it just, I mean, I understand the concept. She was someone, she didn't want to be Hulk, but she had to be She-Hulk. And, you know, she wanted to just be a regular person, a regular lawyer, and all this other stuff. And she's finding that people don't want her for her. They want her as She-Hulk. I get all that. But the thing was just bad. All around, it was bad. Compare it to the Santa Clauses, which was really good.
I still got to watch that. I've been meaning to watch it for a while.
You bring Tim Allen back as Santa Claus, and he has an existential crisis and decides, you know, I'm going to retire. And he comes to find out that, you know, and he hands it over to someone who really wasn't worthy of being Santa Claus. And I'm not going to give away, because I want you to see this. You don't need to see She-Hulk because
so bad.
Because it's that bad. But, you know, and it brings back some new characters. And it's just, what's even crazy, it's 6 episodes. They're all about a half hour long. So you can watch the whole thing in like one sitting. In 3 hours. You can watch the whole thing in an afternoon. And it's very lighthearted. And it's very, you know, it brings in the spirit of Christmas. It brings in, you know, that something we've all had in our lives, which is that one crisis where we feel like things aren't going right and we're a failure, and maybe it's time for us to move on to something else. It is one of those things where it can relate to a lot of different people, and it brings in the Christmas spirit. I mean, for me, I loved watching it. I loved Tim Allen. I think he, even at this age now, he's got so much more to give to his audience, and I'm glad that he came back after being away for so long. You know, I mean, let's all be honest. The Santa Claus 3 was not stellar. It was one of those movies that kind of fell on its face, but to come back and to do this show, especially for Disney Plus, I think really shows the relationship he has with the Disney company, despite the different directions that they are politically. But, and then on top of that, I don't know if you haven't had a chance to see the Santa Claus yet, have you?
No, I have not. I mean, I got to watch the Santa Claus again for Christmas, but unfortunately I have not gotten around to watching the TV series yet.
And it's great. I mean, it's interesting because we watched the movie and then to see this, you know, it kind of like, oh yes, you see where it all starts and where it's all going to go. And then I got a chance to watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
That I did get to see.
Oh my gosh,
it was
that
really
was
good.
that was so funny. It was hysterical, and it was a way to really bring in the Christmas spirit with two characters who've never experienced Christmas, and the fact that you had Kevin Bacon
Yeah, that was funny.
in
So,
there.
if you're not aware, it's like the plot surrounds something like Star-Lord wants
Yeah.
to meet Kevin Bacon.
Well,
Christmas?
for something, it's basically, he's bummed, and about how things are going. He misses Gamora, and it's about Christmas time on Earth. And they say, hey, let's give Peter a great Earth Christmas, and we'll give him Kevin Bacon as a gift. Yeah, that's about it. And so Drax and
Mantis
Mantis
go and kidnap Kevin Bacon.
It's funny. It is so good. I mean, just to see the two of them in Hollywood walking around, and it's like they end up having to blend in with all those people and
All the street performers.
street performers, and it's like they're taking pictures with people. They're like,
Why is people giving me money?
what? But it was so good. It was really funny. Again, it's only a half hour long, and it has some great music. Kevin Bacon performs. If you don't know, Kevin Bacon does have his own band with his brother, and it's really good. It's really well done, and I think it kind of gets you in the Christmas mood and makes you yearn for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is coming out later this year, and we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
We're super excited about it.
Overture, curtain lights, this is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights, this is it. We'll hit the heights, and oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.